Hello. The Sun is about to transit from the first house to the second house of Capricorn ascendants on 13th February. So, before that, there were four planets in the first house in the beginning of the February. The Sun, Mars, Mercury, and Venus were there in a conjunction, four planet conjunction in the first house. These are the planets which influence in short run because they move within a short period of time, like within a month or 1.5 months across the house completely. So they exert short-term influences. The planets like Jupiter, Saturn, North Node and South Node, they move slowly across the house. So they take longer time. For example, Saturn takes 2.5 years to completely move across a single house. So that's why they exert short long-term influences. So before the arrival of the planets to the second house, the North Node is already there in the second house since 18th May 2025, and it will continue to stay there in the second house up to 5th December 2026. North Node in the second house means it exerts mostly negative influence on second house. Second house resembles the gained wealth, the gathered wealth or savings, and also the your family life or the life after the marriage, and also the benefits or losses you gain by your speech during that period. So follow all those matters. The North Node in the second house is not auspicious, negative. Even for the wealth, sometimes you gain, but mostly you lose. It's difficult to save your money when the North Node in the second house. So the first planet to arrive the second house is Mercury. On 3rd February, Mercury arrives second house and it will stay there up to 11th April. The Mercury's arrival is auspicious for the matters governed by the second house because Mercury is the lord of the ninth house. Ninth house resembles luck and fortune. So the planet which resembles luck and fortune, once it arrives the second house, means the luck and fortune for the matters governed by the second house, for your wealth and savings, for your family life, and also for your speech. And the Mercury itself is the main planet which resembles speech, the fluency in speech, how rich your words, so on. So it's good to be in the second house. The next planet to be arrived there is, and one more thing, the Mercury is about to retrograde during 26th February to 21st March. During that period, you won't get the usual positive influence of Mercury because of the retrograded motion of the Mercury. Then the next planet to be arrived to the second house is Venus. The arrival of Venus to the second house is also auspicious for those matters governed by the second house, for the family life, and also for the speech, and also for the wealth and savings. In fact, the lord of the 10th house is Venus. 10th house resembles your profession. Though when the Venus is in the second house, it aspects the 10th house. So that is favorable for your profession also. So the Venus is going to stay there in the second house up to 2nd March. Then it moves to the third house. Third house also favorable for the Venus. It will stay there in the third house up to 26 March. That's also a favorable period for your income and social affairs, as the Venus aspect the 11th house from there. Then the third planet to be arrived to the second house is Sun. The arrival of Sun is not auspicious. It's negative for the matters governed by the second house, because the Sun represents the 8th house. 8th house is the worst house of any birth chart. So, for the Capricorn ascendants also. The Lord of the 8th house is the Sun. So, as the Lord of the 8th house, when it arrives the second house, it exerts negative influence for the matters governed by the second house. Then finally, Mars arrives there. Mars also exerts completely negative influences on the matters governed by second house. So now it is clear. The other thing is, when the Sun arrives there to the second house, it will be there up to 15th March. The Mars arrives on 23rd February and it will be there up to 2nd April. So, with the arrival of Mars on 23rd February, the 5-planet conjunction completes in the second house. It's a rare occurrence. So, the overall impact, how would it be? The Sun, Mars and the North Node mainly disturbs your wealth, while Venus and Mercury supports that, or positive, but more positive, more negative and less positive for your savings and wealth, and more negative and less positive for your life after the marriage or your family life. And even for your speech, sometimes it's good in certain places, the conjunction of the 5 planets, but mostly it's negative for the speech. So be cautious on those issues. On the other hand, the Jupiter is moving through your 6th house. So up to 11th March, it is in retrograded state. So it's negative. I mean, when it is in the 6th house, it's already negative. But when it is retrograded in the 6th house, it's more negative. But whatever it is, the Jupiter is going to stay there up to 2nd June. Up to that, it's negative for the matters governed by 6th house, especially for the like illnesses. So you have to refrain, you have to be careful and cautious on that. The possible illnesses and your immunity will be low during this period. So you are more open to subjected to this communicable diseases, and also high fevers, and also the matters with the internal organs and so on. So be cautious on such issues. And the Jupiter aspect the 10th house and 2nd house while staying in the 6th house. That aspects are somewhat favorable for your profession and the matters governed by the 2nd house. But that aspect is not that strong, because the aspect to the 2nd house, because it's already in short run Mars, Sun and North Node disturbs there, but when they leave there, then the aspect would be more useful, Jupiter's aspect. Then South Node is in the 8th house. That is also negative for your marriage and your spouse. And the aspect of the Saturn in the 3rd house also to the 7th house, that means for the marriage and the spouse, is also negative. Those are long-term influences, because Saturn is going to stay there in the 3rd house up to 3rd June 2027, and South Node is going to stay there in the 8th house up to 31st December. But during the 2nd June to 31st October, Jupiter exalts in the 7th house, exerting highly positive influences for those people who are expecting to be married. They will get good proposals, or they will get married in grand manner. Then so auspicious for such matters, and also even for those people who are already married, who are or people who are living together without marrying for a long time. So those relationships also will have kind of peaceful, kind of peace, or such relations would be peaceful during that period. So this reading is common for Capricorn ascendant, but when you go for the astrology reading based on your personal birth chart, that would be more accurate, because it is based on the exact positioning of the planets at the time of your birth and the exact aspect of those planets at the time of your birth. So that would be more accurate and more personalized. So to get a more accurate and more personalized birth chart reading, you have to refer your birth chart to a proficient astrologer and get it done. And also he will recommend the remedies for the malefic influences. Your birth chart reveals your destiny, but it's not a fixed destiny. You can change the negative things mentioned in your destiny to a greater extent, if you have the will to do so, and with the guidance of astrology. Astrology was there over hundreds of years to assist the people, to guide the people to overcome the malefic influences. So you can have a good plan and the dedication and courage to implement that, and by doing so you can overpower the malefic influences to come ahead. By knowing them early, the guidance of astrology, you can eliminate them and win over them, and also you can successfully get the maximum use of the positive things to come ahead with the guidance of astrology. So by doing so, you can change the negative things mentioned in your destiny and succeed in your life with the guidance of astrology. Good luck.